Welcome back to my bikini prep mini vlog number 2. In vlog 1, I said we would talk about nutrition. So let's talk about nutrition. In my stories, I had posted a question and answer box. This week I answered one of them, which is how much has your food has changed? Not a whole lot. I have always been a very boring, picky eater. A, I am lactose intolerant. B, I cannot have gluten. C, I cannot do soy or beans, and I don't eat red meat. So that also eliminates a lot of things. I have had IBS since high school, and I've over the years really been able to learn how to manage it, and I'm a creature of habit. So I eat the same things. I had been really focused on protein. Protein, protein, protein. You will hear to the nth degree about protein. I'm amazed at how many people do not get enough protein. My body literally craves it. Like I can put a whole freaking chicken and eat it in one sitting. Like I crave protein. Protein has never been a issue for me. I was eating about between 160 and 180. I can hit 180 very easily. So what has changed? My coach has me at 130, which sounds crazy because you hear competitors talk about the need for protein, almost always at 100, at least 140. I'm always at least 10 grams over, but I'm trying. I have not been a food tracker. Again, going back to my years as someone who had an eating disorder in my healing process, I had to get away from all of that. I just really focused on making sure I always had veggies and fiber and some berries for fruit. And I always focused on protein and I had healthy carbs. As I, healed myself and got even more better, there were things I could have like tortilla chips and whatnot. But again, I don't do your pizzas. I don't do a lot of breads. Gluten-free bread is okay. It's not something I crave. I'm like your chicken, veggie. I do love a French fry. That's my like guilty thing. My food is pretty the same. I literally eat chicken every night with generally green beans and like sweet potato, or lately I've been having more, even prior to working with my coach, like white rice. I will do like siete taco shells. Again, they have none of they're gluten-free, they're dairy-free, they don't have the seed oils and all the things. So once a week I make my own homemade tacos, and then that lasts 2 to 3 nights worth of meal prep. So it's basic and it's boring. Love my food. Like I can't wait to my next meal. I love my food. Every breakfast is a big egg white omelet. That's at least 50 to 60 grams in my egg white. I used a whole little container up until working with my coach. Went through a lot of egg whites. So a container is 50 grams, and then I usually have some turkey sausage with it. So that gets me to that 60 gram for your first meal of the day. So having to now measure has been the hardest part. Now I'm usually about 35 to 40 grams of egg whites. Sometimes I will add in turkey sausage with that. So I'm still getting a higher protein in my first meal, but not quite as much from egg whites. Always have spinach with it. And then I do a sweet potato. And I buy the smaller sweet potatoes that are like this size, like not like the massive ones that people buy. That's like 5 servings in one. So anyway, now I'm learning how to weigh it all out. Let me share that reel about using a food scale out things like your sweet potato, your cut veggies. I'm having my lunch right now, which one of my organized clients turned me on to. Buy a brand lactose-free Greek yogurt has been a game changer for me. I freaking love it. I eat it every day. I'm so happy. It's the only kind of dairy that I have, and it helps me get my protein. And I literally will pack this with a lid and an ice pack and a lunchbox and take it off every single day. And same thing with whether I'm having 1 or 2 rice cakes with some almond butter. One of these is caramel. One of these is just the lightly salted. Eventually, I will only be eating the lightly salted, but right now, while I can still have a little higher calorie and carb, I'm having the caramel one. I always drizzle some Carrie's sugar-free maple syrup on here. So I did like 1 tablespoon on here and then 1 tablespoon between the 2 of those. And that is literally my lunch every day. And it packs so well, and I can eat it on the way home or as soon as I finish a job. I'm a home organizer, so I'm in people's homes, which means we don't really have time to stop and eat. Let me share using a scale.
Really haven't tracked anything except for protein. I am using a scale. Let me show you how I have learned how to use one.
Select your unit, ounces, grams, pounds. Depending on the food choice, I Google how should I have it
Meat is generally in ounces. Veggies are usually in grams. Sweet potatoes are in grams, um, measured out that way. Then you select it again, so it's going to zero it out, and then you can put the item on top, and then however much that serving size is. So 4 ounces of chicken, 6 ounces of chicken. Yogurt was 170 grams. Same thing for peanut butter. Anything with a lid, you want to make sure you take the lid off first. Zero it out with the item sitting on here, out that specific serving size. Veggies, or meat, or yogurt, or peanut butter, and log it into MyFitnessPal, and it'll track all your macros, and it'll tell you how many more carbs you can eat, how much more protein, fat, etc.
It is a game changer if people are just eyeballing things or you're just using the measuring cups. Peanut butter, especially, that a tablespoon, you may think it's just a tablespoon and you're using your little tablespoon, but you're probably scooping more. And so you may think it's not a big deal, but that's a lot of calories and fat, especially in peanut butter or almond butter or nut butter, because you have to have your food down to a science because you're creating a specific physique to get on stage. This is for a specific goal. You do need to diet down. You need to be very specific on your macros. I didn't track, I mentioned before. I didn't track. So I don't really know how many calories I was getting. I was at least getting between 1,800 and 2,000 calories depending on the day. I am currently at, with my coach, 1615. I was at 180 protein. She's got me at 130 protein. That's a lot less protein. Definitely eating probably more carbs than I was eating before. And I'm at 150 grams of carbs, 55 grams of fat. Those have been the hardest, just measuring things out and eating a little less. I have had hunger cues throughout this journey. I have thought about food more. A lot of competitors talk about the food noise, that you really thinking about food all the time, which I wasn't looking forward to because that's something I used to do all the time. But I know that I have my goal. I'm very focused and I'm very aware mentally of why we're doing what we're doing, and I'm eating very healthy food choices. Yes, you've got hunger cues, and I think it's good. I think everybody should have a hunger cue, because hunger is how if it's true hunger, not just that you're bored or you're tired or whatnot. We should allow our bodies to get to a little bit of an empty state, because otherwise you're never burning fat. Just constantly grazing and eating and eating and eating and eating all day. And you're not allowing some time to digest and some time for fasting and some time for your body to like burn through that food. You gotta let your body, if you want to burn some fat. I've watched other people's vlogs, which my coach is like, stop watching other people's things. A lot of them are talking about that their coach made them give up coffee. And if you know me, I live on black coffee. I've always done black coffee. I know that's something that a lot of competitors have to get forced to doing. But when you're diagnosed with dairy in high school, and this was like early 2000s, wasn't all the dairy-free things. So I learned to drink coffee the way coffee should be drank. Coffee, if you actually like coffee, it's black coffee. Now, even with dairy alternatives, to me, that's not coffee. I do drink a lot of decaf throughout the rest of the day, though. I carry my little giant coffee pot to the job. She told me she won't get rid of coffee. She will probably just definitely get rid of a lot of my caffeine, but I will still be able to have coffee and potentially even on show day. So I was very thankful for that. Learning how to use a food scale. The nice part, if you're tracking and being a creature of habit and eating the same foods, is it makes it a lot easier every single day. I log it into Myfitnesspal. It is connected to her fitness app, so she can see that and make tweaks or whatnot. Deeper into prep and closer to show day, she will fine tune and fine tune and fine tune some of that. I'm not a big fan of oats. Every once in a blue moon, I will do oats instead of rice cakes with this. It's just, I'm not an oatmeal person. Texture, I just, not for me. Sometimes oats, always sweet potato. I like the little baby potatoes. Slice those up, so that's like 4 or 5 is about a serving. Labels. A lot of labels can be off. They can be off by a lot. You're eating multiple packaged foods, even though the label might say like like a protein bar is like 200 calories and this many carbs and this much protein. Sugar and their carbs and their calorie grams can be off, can actually be higher than what the label says. Actually consuming a lot more sodium, carbs, fat, and calories than you think you are. And so whole foods is going to be your best bet, whether you're in bikini prep or not. It does make things easier. Because of that, I'm eating less dark chocolate than I used to, but I still have at least 1 square every night. Also for chocolate, right now I've still been having my chocolate Shakeology, which is a protein, but it does have superfoods in it. And so it is higher in carb than some of your other protein powders on the market, but it has a lot of other nutritional benefits. So until she cuts that, I use that every night and I make it as an ice cream. And so I'm getting my sweet tooth cravings in the evenings satisfied without putting me over my macro. Watch anybody on their show day, what they eat post show. I am excited. The local coffee shop that we go to, I always used to get a gluten-free brownie. I will have that. Some French fries. I'm looking forward to some French fries. But yeah, we're enjoying the journey. Stay tuned for the next mini vlog.